Characteristics of life. Our world abounds with a great variety of life. Giant tube worms thrive at the bottom of the ocean near bubbling volcanic vents. Large algae grows covering the surface of Arctic glaciers like a carpet. Bacteria find shelter even in the pores of your skin. Tube worms, algae, bacteria, and all other organisms, no matter how diverse they may be, share certain features. Although it is difficult to define life, biologists have formulated a list of characteristics by which we recognize living things. These characteristics are elaborated in the paragraphs below. Energy use. All organisms must have the ability to access and use energy from the environment. For example, in the process of photosynthesis, green plants take in light energy from the sun and use it to form complex molecules from water and the carbon dioxide in the air. Plants use the energy stored in these complex molecules for two purposes. Plants use the energy to carry out chemical reactions and to build structures that allow the plant to grow. Animals capture the energy stored by plants when they eat the plants. Response to stimulus. All organisms respond to stimulus from the environment. A stimulus is any event in the environment that the organism is aware of. A response is a reaction to stimulus. For example, bacteria grow toward or away from certain chemicals. Green plants bend toward the light. Mealworms congregate where it is damp. Cats pounce on small moving objects. Although different organisms respond to widely different stimuli, the capacity to respond is a universal characteristic of life. Plants respond to stimulus chemically. Environmental stimulus will cause the plant to secrete different chemicals in response to that stimulus. Growth toward the sun is caused by growth hormones causing parts of the plant stalk to grow at different rates. This differential growth of the stem causes the plant to lean. Imagine the stalk of a plant being a table with 4 legs that can grow. If the back legs grow faster than the front legs, the table starts to tip forward. In animals, response to the environment is called instinct. Instinct is genetically determined. A spider raised in solitary confinement can build an extremely complex web on its first try. Mammals also show inherited behavior. If a flying squirrel raised in a bare laboratory cage is given a nut-like object, it will try to bury the nut. It makes scratching movements as if digging earth, then pushes the nut into the hole it just dug and then covers it with imaginary dirt. However, humans are very different from animals. Very few patterns of human behavior are clearly based on instinct alone. Human behavior is acquired from the environment and is controlled by the intellect. In any given circumstance, human behavior is controlled by a variety of learned values. Humans have a choice of behaviors. Animal behavior is rigidly controlled by genetics. Reproduction. Reproduction is not essential for the survival of an individual organism. The expenditure of time, energy, and resources on reproduction is a disadvantage to the organism's survival. Birds produce ornate feathers and have elaborate courting rituals in association with reproduction. These activities take time away from food gathering and bring the birds out in the open for extended periods of time. However, all organisms have the ability to reproduce. It is essential for the survival of the species on the planet because no organism lives forever. Cellular organization. All living things are composed of cells. All living organisms take in inorganic substances from the environment and organize them into organic molecules. Organic molecules are molecules only found in living things. Living things take the organic molecule they create and make cells. Cells have internal structures that carry out particular functions. In multicellular organisms, the cells themselves are organized into tissues. Tissues are organized into organs, and organs are organized into systems. Cells fall into one of two categories, prokaryotic and eukaryotic. Bacteria are made of prokaryotic cells. Prokaryotic cells lack a nucleus in the cell. Eukaryotic cells have a nucleus. Plants and animals have eukaryotic cells. However, the cells from plants are different than the cells from animals. Plant cells have several structures that are not found in animal cells. Plants have a rigid structure around each cell that makes it stiff. Plants need this stiffness because plants do not have a skeleton. Plant cells also contain a green pigment called chlorophyll that allows it to carry out photosynthesis. Animal cells likewise have structures not found in plant cells. Animal cells have no cell wall and have structure in the cell called lysosomes. Lysosomes produce digestive fluids. Plants have no use for digestive fluids since they manufacture their own food. Growth and repair. All living things grow. Growth occurs through cell enlargement and cell division. Cell enlargement is the increase in cell size. Cell division is the orderly formation of new cells from a parent cell. In multicellular organisms, cell division and cell enlargement together result in growth. As cells become damaged, new cells are formed from existing nearby cells and fill in as the damaged ones are digested and removed. Adaptation. Organisms have adaptations. Adaptations are traits that give an organism an advantage in a particular environment. The traits that an organism has are genetically controlled. The traits that an organism has cannot change unless the genetics that code for that trait are changed. This occurs very rarely, and unusually, when it does, the change is not helpful. Variations occur in a population of organisms. Deer all have the ability to run. However, within a population of deer, certain deer can run faster than others due to their genetics. This is a variation within the population. Variation is essential for the continuity of life because it confers an advantage on some members of a species in a changing environment. The world of biology is so rich that even today, scientists have yet to explore all of it. New discoveries like the algae population inside the polar bear's fur and the underwater vent community are found every year. The wide variety of organisms in these communities shows us how much is still to be learned about organisms. Wherever you may live, the world around you teems with life. References for this reading are Curtis and Barnes' Invitation to Biology, published by Worth Publishers Incorporated in 1981. Tolley, Modern Biology, published by Holt, Reinhardt, and Winston in 1989. Johnson and Raven, Biology, Principles and Explorations, published by Holt, Reinhardt, and Winston in 1996.